So listen, Sean, you got a comment on the book of faces there, didn't you?
Yeah, well, this is it. It was like basically 90% of personal trainers leave the industry within 2 years, and that's because they make less than £10,000 and still have to live with their parents. And this isn't something I said. I'd done a video, it was probably about last week, did a video about what it really takes to become a successful personal trainer. And somebody made this comment, and I was shocked. I hadn't seen the statistics myself, but I thought it was very, very interesting. He was asking me, is this true? So what we're going to answer in this video is exactly why that could possibly be true, and rather than us justifying it, talk about maybe why that could possibly be happening in the industry. So, first of all, I was
even inside, will we, where it's probably a little less noisy. So guys, we'll bring it in.
There's some new trainers qualifying here. So here's the thing. These guys are going to be qualifying here with their certificate, ready to go in an education to get into the industry. And there's no doubt about it, there's going to be some of those people that are doing it all for completely different reasons. So you have to think about the reason that some of these people are becoming a personal trainer in the first place. So the thing is, I think at the moment, some people are just jumping on it because they maybe think it's easy to make money in the fitness industry. A lot of people are not putting in the time and thought that they need to really think, like, why are they getting into fitness? And I think most of the people don't really know. Some people are at different stages in their life, and they just haven't put in the time or the thought that it needs to really consider the reasons they're getting into it. A lot of people are doing it because they think they can make easy money. There is no easy money in any industry, and if money is the end motivator, you get into this thing for the completely wrong reasons. So it's having a strong why, isn't it, Jay?
Yeah, and I think as well, the other thing to keep in mind is that it's okay that there's different people at different stages. So somebody might be doing it for purely their own personal reasons. They just want to know a little bit more about training, a little bit more about how they can adapt training to their own body, adapt nutrition to their own body, and that's cool. So that's going to take up a percentage of people. There's those people who are very committed, they know exactly what they want to do, they know exactly how they're going to do it, and they will obviously do well, okay? And then there's a group of people in between who aren't quite sure, and like that, they're just dipping their toe in the water and they're trying things out. Fairly often these people are probably a little bit younger, in their early 20s or teenagers, and I mean, that's okay. It's okay to have an experience and then find out that, listen, either I'm not good at this particular job or profession, or I don't actually like it, okay? So anytime I suppose that there's that it's quite easy, there's a low barrier to entry into any particular market. So one of the guys made an analogy.
Was it web design or something?
Yeah, he spoke about web design. So it's maybe quite easy to get into web design, so therefore there's going to be a lot of people getting into that sector, okay? And depending on how you look at that, you could say that, listen, this is going to drive down prices, it's going to keep prices low, but the cream is always going to rise to the top. The people who are good are always going to rise to the top. And what it does allow for, it allows for people at all different levels. So not everybody, if we're bringing it back into training, personal training, not everybody wants to pay a high-end premium for their training, okay? They mightn't value that themselves. So there's going to be people in there to cater for all those different levels, really, isn't it?
Absolutely, that's it. There's products for every levels. So that's the thing. I think it's really, really important to have a strong why, because look, if you're getting into this industry because you think it's easy, like, you need to have another look at this. There's some people in the industry who already have skill, they already have a lot of background stuff of it, and really the only thing holding them back is to get the relevant certifications, and maybe they've already run businesses to have more experience, and other people, they may need to build that business from the ground floor up. And if you're not willing, because his comment was they only make 10 grand a year, hey, holy shit, I would have loved that my first year, and I made less than that my first year. My second, I built the business that I'm in from the ground floor up, likewise with Jason here. So if you're not willing to take those early challenges head on, and you're not willing to put in the time, effort, and the sweat equity that's required to build a business, then you can forget about it, because there's no easy money in any industry, not just the fitness industry, any industry. So don't get into this thinking it's going to be easy, there's going to be challenges. Don't get into this because you think you're going to just make 50 grand in your first year. Some people may, I'm not saying they don't, but most will not. And the people that have a strong enough why, they're going to be the people who stick around long enough to learn this industry. And at the same time, if you love what you're doing in it, I mean, most people don't think that it's even work.
I think as well, there's something to think about there, that there's probably a bit of a misconception at the moment that it's alright, I'm going to get a certification as a personal trainer, and I'm going to go out on my own, okay, and I'm going to make all this money. For a lot of people, if you're not entrepreneurial, so if you're entrepreneurial, no matter what you do, no matter what industry you're in, you're going to do well, you're going to do money, because that's how you think, your mind is set up to look for opportunities, to overcome challenges. For some other people, they'd be much better off set in a situation where they maybe work for somebody else. It's listen, go in, do an honest day's work and get an honest day's pay for it. And for a lot of people, that's going to be a lot easier. So that's something to think about as well, you know. So it's not everybody. And I suppose for us, we would always turn around and say that the main differentiating factor is going to be the difference between education and certification. We believe that education is what is the most important thing, and that's what's going to differentiate the people who in the industry who are the pros, the people in the industry who are making the most money and also having the biggest impact, which is for us is even more important. The difference is going to be down to their education, what they value and the investment that they make in their education over just getting a piece of paper with their name on it and putting it up on the wall.
Yeah, and thinking that's it, I'm all going to be sorted now. It's not. Yeah. It's way more than that. Okay, so that's the best description we can give for it, and I thought that was a cracking comment that he came back with.
Yeah.
And rather than argue with him, I thought it was a really interesting thing to tackle, and I thought this video was a good way to do it. Guys, if you have more questions about the industry, I'm going to stick a wee link below to the questions we normally get asked. That'll help you out. And then, look, at the end of the day, if you still think this is something for you, get in touch. We'd love to hear from you.
You, and whoever said it's the truth, you're right.
That's Gavin Coyne.
See you later, Gav, right? Take it easy, peeps.